Today we actually did an interview with this guy. He made Ivan's Quest. He's actually super cool. You should go check him out. He's a really cool guy. One of the inspirations for me in my upcoming comic series Atlas. Look forward to that. But yeah, go check out Ivan's Quest and buy one of his books. He signs every copy.
Comments on my YouTube channel. I don't always get to respond to all of them, but yeah, I'm pretty interactive since we're still pretty small. I try to foster relationships with people if they have questions or they want to reach out. I like to be available to people. You know what I mean? And yeah, hell yeah, I would love to collaborate and make connections because this whole aspect of my life is pretty much kind of a secret from everybody. It's something that I've done quietly over the last few years. I didn't really tell anybody that I know that I do YouTube, and most people in my life aren't really creative in general. So, like in the sense that they make art and things like of that nature. So this whole thing has been like a little alter ego for me for a little while.
That's actually dope as hell. I wish I could have gone down that same path. Honestly, I feel like my life would be a little bit less right now if I didn't tell anybody I knew about the hard stuff that I did. But
Well, you learn that through trial and error, because when I was going to art school and animation school and all that type of stuff, I got told everybody, and then when I kind of went away from it for a while, it was tough. So I learned to just, keep things to myself, at least until things get rolling, And
yeah,
we actually did kind of manage to gain a small audience on TikTok, and then people from my job started finding out about it, and family members started finding me and stuff. So I mean, eventually, I mean, the goal is for people to know who I am, right? But they were like, why didn't you ever tell us about this, or that type of thing.
all right. That is dope though, having your old alter ego kind of thing.
Yeah, most people just know me as like the guy who works at Whole Foods, and I was a vitamins manager for a while. Like I was in the beauty and vitamins department, and I kind of have like this work vibe, like where I'm not really that personable and I'm very quiet. And a lot of people are really surprised that I do TikTok or YouTube at all. They're like, they had no idea I had that much personality because I'm just like a robot sometimes. But I mean, you look at my art. I mean, it's pretty. If you take a look at me, you'd probably assume I do like tattoo art or like graffiti art or something. And I've heard that all my life. But in reality, I actually draw very silly, cute cartoon characters, which I'm kind of a big guy in real life. So people just are really just very surprised to see my type of artwork and, my whimsical storytelling and all that type of stuff. So,
Well, it's
but,
it's good art, man.
oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
I think I mean, this might not be the same for all artists, but like with me specifically, when I draw, which I don't know if you saw the stuff where I do draw, but I draw quite a bit. Um, and then you uploaded them my shorts. But my biggest problem that I've come up with when developing my art style is not only the drawing part, which I've actually gotten pretty good at, but the consistency of keeping an art style.
Yeah.
And so I was like blown away how you were able to keep your art style from page to page. And it was definitely eye catching too. So that's really what drew me in.
I appreciate that. Yeah. I learned in school that there's usually two types of artists. There's the ones that they're really good at replicating other styles, and they tend to have more detailed type of artwork. And then there's the type of people who have like their own art style that they can't help but create. Like it's actually very difficult. I have the exact opposite problem where when I try to draw something in a different style, it all ends up looking like this type of stuff. So it's funny, like it's funny to hear you say that though, because like I said, um it's really hard for me to branch out like to realism or even like anime. I feel like just whatever I draw just comes out of me. And I don't even have model sheets for the characters. I just memorize what they look like, or I'll
That's
like yeah, or I'll have like I'll just look like an old drawing of the character to remember what they look like if I'm having trouble with details and stuff. But yeah,
that is super cool. I should probably start learning how to make reference sheets to my stuff as well, because like I draw a character once and I can like kind of draw him again, but he always looks slightly different, in different
yeah.
stuff. So
Well, yeah, I think a model sheet would definitely help with that. But as long as you get the main, parts of him correct, or I think it should be all right.
yeah,
Sometimes I draw the characters off model. I've kind of seen it, but it's for the most part, people that read your stories, in my at least in my experience, they're not really looking to like criticize like every minute detail. They kind of like it more for what it is, more than like what it could be or what it's lacking and stuff. So, and I've kind of done the impossible, like for in the year 2025 or whatever, everybody thinks that artists is like a dying thing, that you can't get jobs anymore, that AI is going to take over everything. And I'm just here to say that that's just definitely not true, that it's definitely possible. Like these books, we've sold actually like over 600 of these books in less than 1 year, just posting about it on. And is it like the greatest comic book? Like I'm competing with Marvel and DC and stuff, right? But in reality, it's just all about getting your stuff out there and just putting it out there every day. That's my advice if you want to make like money or do things like this, for
I think
sure.
what's so great about the Ivan's Quest thing to me is like the fact that you are competing with those giants, because they like I want to go get a comic. I literally have two options: Marvel or DC. There's no one else. It's
There's nobody else. And I personally, I feel like there's kind of like a lack of this type of stuff. Like I love big epic stories, and I kind of like a more simple art style. And I feel like you go to the comic book store and everything kind of looks very like similar, like
yeah.
very like Western comic book style, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. But one of the reasons that I created the comic book is because I just felt like there wasn't really anything there for me. But I mean, that being said, it is tough competition. These comic books doing everything independently, you have to charge more for them to like break even. Where Marvel and DC, you're paying like $5 for like a professional level comic that a team like is behind. And I've actually done this thing like where we went to a local comic book shop. I emailed the owner and I asked them, when I first created this was almost 3 years ago that I released this book, the first one. And I went to the comic book shop and they let me set up a little table and I had my books there. And just you just realize that like nobody was really that interested in like original stuff. Like they were there for like Batman, all that type of stuff. So and doing comics, doing art in general, you got to be very, very comfortable with rejection, because like we've had so much of it, and we just keep going, rain or shine.
Yeah. It's it's certainly a tough crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
I think.
But
Go ahead.
I think things in the end just work out. I mean, I feel like I'm kind of just shouting at the universe. I want this to do well. I want this to do well. And this is years. Like this is 3 years before we even made like any amount of money off of these books. I kind of gave up. We went to a convention. The timeline is really crazy. Just in short, a long time ago, I went to school for animation, and I never finished it. I dropped out because I realized I didn't like animation, and I took a year off drawing. I was very depressed, soul searching, all this type of stuff. I finally decided to actually try to complete a body of work, because I went to school to learn to draw. I was never that talented, but I developed a skill. So I decided, no more messing around. I bought this really cheap $5 sketchbook. I call it the Ivan Bible, and
Oh,
I started designing characters and all this concept art and stuff. And this was in 2023. I finally completed a comic book, and making it profitable has been two almost 3 years basically, which has been full of failure. So all these books took about a little under 3 years to create. 6 books. It's about two a year, which is pretty slow. But anyways, it's been an insanely long journey to get to this point. And we're finally getting a little bit of success, but it's just all about like relentlessly putting it out there every day, in my opinion.
I mean, it's worth it, man. Because, I mean, like, at least I think it's worth it. I personally, I stumbled across your page and stuff, and I was like, um, so I was there when you're like, hey, we just sold, 300. Let's get the 400. Let's get the 500. Let's get, and I was like, dude, this guy is awesome. And
I'm crazy, man.
I
I'm
have,
crazy. But
yeah, I
I
have
was just
been.
gonna say,
Go ahead.
like, really quick that we like I started posting these on TikTok. Really, that's I actually started posting on TikTok after the ban was lifted in the United States. So in January 19th, I started posting, and I was really awkward, trying to find my camera on camera personality or whatever. And we would not really make any book sales. We would we would be, oh, sorry, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
But we would be yeah, we would be stuck at like one book sale for like a month. And I started live streaming, and then that's when the book sales like actually really exploded. We started hitting milestones. We grew like almost 20,000 followers in a few months. It's really crazy
Damn,
what
TikTok
it did
Live
for
really
me.
do be doing all that.
Yeah, because I mean, it's really crazy. And we were doing like over 100 books a month. Like and we were growing. We have like a huge Discord community, and like I couldn't even believe this was happening to me. Like, didn't even feel real, you know. And I did all that while I was working full time at the grocery store. Like I would literally wake up, go drop off orders to the post office, go to work, come home, live stream, and I'll be uploading videos all day to YouTube and TikTok. I pack up the orders after the live stream, go to bed at like 1 a.m. and do the whole thing 5 days a week. And I had no life for a little while, like no life. So so yeah, we were posting those videos every day, just me packing these. We've packed hundreds of them at this point. So yeah, I'm really blessed. I had a lot of success on it with it. But I mean, even that being said, success or like selling things is not like just a regular graph. You hit snags along the way. We actually got content restricted on TikTok for a while, and we pretty much haven't really recovered after that.
What
So
did
we're
you
s-
get
we
content restricted for?
so my format. This is what allowed me to grow. Was I'm very comfortable drawing on stream. So I would point my phone at my desk and I'd just draw. So you wouldn't really see my face, you would just see me drawing things. And that's what made my stuff sticky, because people would watch it, be like, wow, you draw really fast or whatever. And I could maintain the chat and talk at great lengths, interacting with the chat. But TikTok actually thought I was pre-recording the live streams because I would point my phone at the iPad sometimes.
Mm,
And so they actually kept giving me warnings about it, and I knew it wasn't pre-recorded, so I would just, and you can't really appeal the warnings anyways. One day I just get a notification, and I had been noticing the views steadily declining. So one day I get the notification like, you are permanently restricted from selling things on TikTok or whatever.
yep.
So the views pretty much flatlined for everything. We still had a loyal following that would watch the live streams and the videos and all that type of stuff. But everything flatlined. And that's we got the account back. I fought with them for about a week trying to get it back. TikTok support is notoriously not good, but we did get it back because I didn't do anything wrong. And so we were starting the streams again, but the traffic never really quite recovered to what it was before. We still have loyal people watching, but we don't really get new eyeballs. And so it's been an uphill battle. We're in the valley right now, so we pretty much the growth on TikTok and all that stuff has slowed in like considerably. And when I was posting at first, it was easy to fail because nobody was watching. But now that we have my family members, some that found me, coworkers, friends, like, and people who watched me grow, they're kind of watching me struggle a little bit now, and the pressure gets to be a lot. But you know, I can't give up. We've come way too far at this point to give up. So you know, we might transition to YouTube. We might stay on TikTok. I really don't know, but I'm just gonna keep going with the motto that I've been doing, which is post this thing every day like a madman. You know,
Yep.
who cares if we get 0 views? Like I have to do it because I spent 3 years making these books. I need people to at least know that they exist. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
hopefully
anyways,
this
that's
will
my
help.
long rant.
Amen. I it, when I can, I'm gonna get the rest of them. But like the rest of the series,
Oh, you have some?
I had some.
Oh, I
I
see.
had like one.
Oh, cool, cool.
Unfortunately, due to some water damage, it is no longer with us.
Oh, no. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Don't read next to your water bottles, people. Everything's falling. Pain.
So basically, what you're saying is one of the videos I uploaded. It was your book that I was uploading.
Oh, it was. It
I
was.
wonder which one it was.
Yes, I think it was the first one.